Today, we are diving into one of Saskatchewan's most unique and underrated resort towns, Manitou Beach, known for its mineral rich lake, laid back vibe, and growing real estate potential. Manitou is attracting both lifestyle seekers and savvy investors to help us better understand what makes the community so special and where the real estate opportunities are. We're joined by realtor Dustin Sikler, who knows the market inside and out.
This is the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast.
Dustin, welcome back to the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast.
Thank you for having me, Ron. I always appreciate coming on and sharing my insights on what I know.
From a very little boy, I've spent lots of time in Manitou, mostly because my parents were huge fans of old time dances. And so we would go to Dance Land and have ice cream there. So I have a ton of positive memories around Manitou. And so when you were talking in the past about it growing as a real estate potential, it got me thinking about what we could do to kind of highlight this really great place. So I appreciate you coming on today and sharing these 5 things about Manitou that make it worth the investment. And so just start us off, Dustin, a quick introduction and kind of your background with Manitou and in real estate.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, I've been in real estate in Saskatoon here for the last almost 10 years now, which is crazy to think. Um, so I'm originally from Saskatoon, started in real estate, like I said, almost 10 years ago. I have a wife and 2 kids here. We started coming to Manitou probably about 10 to 12 years ago. I never really even knew about Manitou until I met my wife. Her and her family had a cabin down here when she was a kid, and she kind of dragged me along. I was always a northern guy, loved going up to Waskesiu and Emma Lake and Cannell and Christopher, and I didn't know much about it. And once I had a couple trips up or down there, I actually thought it was a pretty little hidden gem. I enjoyed it. So we started just by kind of going, casually here and there, and then the interest grew bigger and bigger, and that's kind of where we are at today. So yeah, like I said, we own and manage some short term rentals. Like I said, we own some and we manage some for other people, and yeah, we'd stay busy with the kids, both in hockey and just really try to enjoy life.
Amazing. And again, we're having you on to touch on this great little community and start us off, Dustin, with the explanation of the amazing water at Manitou.
Yeah, they always say come for the salt. So what that means is, I'm sure most of you know, but some of you might not know that, the Manitou Beach, the lake is actually salt water. You can float in it. So a lot of people come here for the healing waters. They like the salt. Salt's good for your skin. It's supposed to heal you too. Manitou Beach also has the mineral spa at the hotel. So people come here from all over the world to enjoy the mineral spa and the salt in the water. And yeah, it's a big hit. Some people get a little weirded out. There are a lot of shrimp in the water, and I don't know if you knew that or not. But you can look in the water and you'll see a lot of red all over, and those are actually brine shrimp, and they're harmless. They do nothing to you, but some people they don't like it. And fun fact, there actually was a shrimp factory in Manitou Beach many years ago. You can still see kind of where it was. The building's gone, but the footings are still in, and they used to mine shrimp for pet feed. So there's a lot of shrimp in the water. It's kind of cool. You won't see that anywhere else in Saskatchewan, I don't think. But some people always ask, well, what is that stuff in the water? But the water is really good. It's good for your skin. And like I said, you see people from all over the world that come to Manitou Beach just to enjoy the water.
I remember back in the COVID pandemic, my wife and I took a trip down to Manitou because there wasn't a ton of things you could do during that time. But one of the things we did was go down there, and it's super impressive the facility they have there for such a small community. Like, how many people would live in Manitou, Dustin?
On average, I think they said not in the tourism season, around 300 people at max. So not that many at all.
And when you say spa, it's a full-on hotel. There's a restaurant. There's the amazing pool there, and so it is very underrated. And it's a quite a facility for the size of the town. We are recording this kind of just in the middle end of July. Dustin, walk us through what Manitou is during the summertime. Walk us through different events that take place there.
Absolutely. It is very busy here in the summertime. There's something going on pretty much every single weekend. We just had the busking festival that happened, and that's a bunch of local artists from all over Saskatchewan come and or all over Western Canada. Really, they come and they just play music, and people enjoy it. They have the Salt Shaker that just happened. That's just another big music festival that happens at Mike's Beach Bar at Danceland, and they close down part of the main street, and they have some tents up and barbecue and beer gardens, and people just enjoy some good live music. They have a carving festival that's coming up. So local chainsaw carving. So local artists from all over come and they chainsaw wood and make really cool carvings out of it. It's supposed to be a big event. I've never been to it. Might have to check it out this year. But really, there's something like going on. There's flea markets every single Sunday here in Manitou Beach. We actually set up a table at the flea market last weekend, and it was a blast. Tons of people walked through, met a lot of new people. It was really good. Uh, can't forget about Danceland. They have weekend dances and suppers every single Saturday, I believe. And we just found out last year, and we're going to go do it this year on Tuesdays. You can actually bring your kids. You'll dress up, and I think for $5 you get a chicken meal, and you can dance all night, and the kids just love it. Burn some steam off. So that's another big one too. We just did the drive-in movie theater. I think it's the only one left in Saskatchewan. There might be another one, but I didn't have very high expectations, and you know what? It was really enjoyable. The kids loved it. It was a really cool experience. The sound came in great in the truck, so something I highly recommend you do. I think we saw Lilo and Stitch, the the new movie there. So they have a 9-hole golf course, a mini putt course. There's just there's so much going on, so much to do for any age group, and I think that's what attracts a lot of people to come here.
That's so great. And I think the thing that you're explaining with all of this is there's kind of everything for everyone. Like any age group that you can kind of think of, there's a big attraction. And so especially people who are older, maybe you're drawn to more of the dancing aspect, but then all of these family friendly activities that you can undertake in a very small center is really cool. And I'd imagine that a lot of this tourism also really helps the business community. What could we say about local businesses and how they're benefiting or how they're making out with the local economy?
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, we've only actively been coming here, like spending weeks at a time, the last year or two. And we've noticed a lot of businesses changing hands. New owners are coming in, new money is coming in. The local coffee shops and some of the art galleries here are changing hands. They say that there's over 150,000 people that come and visit Manitou every year, give or take. So that's quite a few people, right? So the transactions are happening, and I've been noticing it a bit on the residential side too. Even 5 years ago, when we were looking to buy a cabin out here, there was a lot for sale. There still is a little bit for sale now, but nothing was really selling. I just did a quick check this morning. Over the last 365 days, there's been between 13 and 15 cabins that have sold, which actually isn't that bad considering there's only 300 people here, right? So people are buying the cabins up. We have been noticing prices have been going up a bit, but it's still very affordable to get into a cabin here. Um, so yeah, there's lots happening. You can feel it when you get here that the energy's high, and people are doing business, and it's just a fun place to be.
Real estate investing does not have to be a full-time job. Randall, Hoeber, and Boys Group Realty provide complete property management services in Yorkton and surrounding areas, allowing investors to enjoy passive income without the headaches of day-to-day management. From finding tenants to handling maintenance and rent collection. Whether you own a property or are just getting started in the market, Randall, Hoeber, and Boys Group Realty makes it simple. Call Randall Hoeber at 306-782-1323 or email info@ralixenterprises.com to take the next step towards hands-free real estate investing. Your property, our expertise. Whether it's your home, business, or farm, Pioneer Solar and Renewables has you covered as leaders in residential, commercial, and agriculture solar solutions. They make clean energy easy and affordable. Visit pioneersolarenergy.com or give them a call to begin harnessing the power of the sun today. Are you investing in real estate? Let Krishna with Boys Group Realty take care of everything. Finding properties, purchasing, renovations, leasing, and management, leaving you to focus on building wealth. Whether it's a single rental or an entire portfolio, serving Saskatoon and surrounding areas, helping maximize cash flows and minimize stress. If you're looking for an expert to manage your investments, reach out today, home@meetkrishna.ca.
Expand also. Is there a commercial aspect to the real estate side when the businesses are changing over, or is a lot of just residential homes?
Yeah, like the commercial, like I mentioned earlier, there was a couple businesses that have been for sale that have recently sold now. And so there's new owners coming in, and we see it a lot too in Watrous, and a lot of people don't know that Watrous is only 8 kilometers from Manitou. So there's a lot of new businesses turning hands in Watrous, new money coming in, and you can really feel it. You can see it. That there's a lot going on, and people are excited, and yeah, the business has been good.
Walk us through the Airbnb aspect of being there. Obviously, if you have 150,000 people moving through an area, that's going to be hard for even just hotels to keep up with that amount of movement. But walk us through the real estate potential there.
Yeah, for sure. There's really nothing to rent here. If you're looking for a long-term rental, there's nothing to rent. I'm pretty sure Watrous is the same. I don't have the stats exactly on Watrous, but we get inquiries even on our place if we're willing to rent it out or anything like that, because there's really nothing to rent. Airbnbs right now, 5 years ago, when we came up here, it was roughly about 5 years ago, we rented an Airbnb, and I think there was only five to rent in all of Manitou at that time. And we rented this Airbnb and we loved it. And every day we'd go for walks. I noticed that there was a lot for sale 2 doors down. So I just figured, well, let's see what it's all about. And the lot was $25,000. It was a 50 by 125 lot. And I thought, let's throw an offer at it. So while we're there on vacation, we bought the lot 2 doors down. Like I mentioned earlier, we were looking for cabins to buy, but there's just really nothing that caught our eye or that really got us excited. So we thought we'd buy a lot and either build on it or move a house onto it, which we eventually ended up doing. But yeah, at that time there was nothing, and now I looked the other day, and I think in all of Manitou and Watrous included, there was over 20. So there's a lot more Airbnbs or short-term rentals opening up. People are realizing the revenue potential here. I did a little bit of math on some of mine because, like I'd mentioned, we moved a cabin in, we moved a house in, we bought a house off an auction in Saskatoon, or in Furdale actually, and we moved it down the highway and plopped it on a lot in Manitou Beach there. And we're still working on it. We're still renovating it. It could take a while, but we did a little bit of math on it with some conservative numbers. But if we were just to rent it out for 2 weeks out of the next 3 months, so 2 weeks a month, we could make at 250 a night. We could make about $3,500 a month, and that's renting out only half the month. So in those 4 months, that's $14,000. So there's good revenue potential there. And if you wanted to rent it out full time, a cabin out here, say on average 25 days, that's 6,250 a month. That's putting you at about 25 grand for the four busiest months in summertime. And to mention, short-term rentals here are still rent out in the wintertime too. Not as great, but you're still going to get a lot of fall rentals. You're going to get the spring rentals, and you're going to get some winter rentals too. Driving around here in the wintertime, the hotel's still full. Like it's not completely full, but there's still lots of cars here. So the potential to maybe make some revenue 4 seasons, or if you just bought a 3 season cabin just in the summertime, the potential's high here. And I just checked this morning, and out of all the Airbnbs that are here, there's nothing available for this weekend. So that kind of shows you that there's still a lot of demand.
We do kind of think of renting out a cabin as strictly a summertime activity, but I don't know whether it's the cost of living or maybe COVID also showed us that, hey, you can be a tourist in your own province as well. But there are more people who are looking for those winter Christmas vacations. And especially if you have something like a great, resort that everyone can go and enjoy over the winter months, it makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm really happy to see that maybe you also see that trend, that not only are these great tourist areas not just getting the traction in the summer, but it's also paying off over the winter as well. At number 5, and to finish us off here, Dustin, walk us through just living in Manitou. And I don't know where you want to take this, whether it's the vibe of Manitou. Just walk us through what it's like being there.
Yeah, like I just when we get to the cabin there, and then maybe it's just because we're going to the cabin, you kind of feel that sense of relaxation. It's not as fast paced as the city, obviously. You kind of just we have a lot to do when we get here, and we just want to relax a lot. It's got that quiet and peaceful vibe to it, but yet still a lot going on, right? So there's always something to do. The people here are very friendly. Um, and Watrous, like I said, is only 8 kilometers away. So you got all the major amenities still need. You got your grocery, your medical, you got your shopping stores. They still have a VHS store here in Watrous, which is wild. Um, Bowling alleys. They have a great veterinarian here that I talked to. A lot of people from Saskatoon bring their pet to Manitou or to Watrous there because the small town cost is way cheaper and the quality is better. So little things like that, make you really want to, maybe move into a smaller community like that. And like I mentioned earlier, you can still get real estate for pretty cheap here, and and the potential to maybe buy another property that you could full time rent or short term rent. There's lots of possibilities. Driving up some of these streets, you see a bunch of older houses that don't look like they've been lived in for a while. And if someone could find a phone number or a contact to rejuvenate some of these cabins, you could probably get them for 10 cents on the dollar and make a little bit of money on them. So yeah, there's lots of opportunity, but yet you still feel like it's a way slower pace once you get here coming from the city.
That's so great to hear. And thank you for sharing about it too. Even though I'm familiar with Manitou, it's so good to hear, these different opportunities that are available there. And if someone's listening to this, Dustin, and they're like, "Yeah, this sounds really cool," and they're wanting a little bit more information, what's the best way for them to reach out to you to maybe get a bead on if there's a potential for them either to invest or to live in Manitou?
The Saskatchewan Realtors Association supports over 1,700 realtors across the province. Their members provide expert insights to help you navigate the market. Visit sra.ca for monthly stats, industry updates, and to find a realtor near you.
Yeah, they can reach out on social media. You can search my name on Facebook or on Instagram, Dustin Sikler Real Estate, or just Google me. You'll find my phone number online somewhere. But yeah, reach out, call, text, email, whatever works easiest. If you want to chat Manitou or chat, any other areas, I'm happy to chat at any time.
If this is anyone's first time seeing Dustin, you've also been on and talked about all the Airbnb opportunities and things that are also changing. So I encourage people to go back and listen or watch previous episodes that you've been on. But just leave us here, Dustin. Any last thoughts on Manitou and the opportunity here?
One other thing I kind of forgot to mention is that it's close. It's pretty close to the three biggest cities in Saskatchewan too, right? So it's an hour drive from Saskatoon, and it's an hour 40 from Regina, and it's 2 hours from PA. So it's in a good location, and I think a lot of people enjoy that because coming from Saskatoon, if I ever have to rip back for business when I'm out in Manitou, it's only an hour away. So that it's not like you have to pack up the family and you're going up north for 3 or 4 hours, right? It's usually a quick commute from most places in Saskatchewan. I think that's another thing that draws a lot of people here is that it's a quick getaway, and if you have to get back for a couple days, you can rip back and then come back to the lake. So some in the summertime, it's nice if I have to do business, I can take off back to Saskatoon, but I can be back in a couple hours. So I just think that it's important to know that it's right in the middle of the province too, so it's pretty convenient.
Wonderful. Thanks again for sharing your information, Dustin. Always appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks for tuning in to the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast. Do you need help with your next real estate transaction? Whether you're buying your first home, refinancing, or investing in real estate, I am here to help you navigate the mortgage process in both Saskatchewan and Alberta, or connect you to a trusted professional. Feel free to send me an email at ron@ronqmortgage.ca or use the booking link to schedule a time to chat. Until next week, I'm Ron Quaroni, your Saskatchewan mortgage professional. Bye for now.